Hello, welcome to another Gundam Battle Operation 2 video. That is the new suit in that disgusting pizza parlor paint scheme. Uh, is the Yag Doga, or if you want to make somebody upset, you call it the Jagd Doga. But yeah, initial thoughts and really good suit, even though it's a raid at 650 700. Uh, and it has like a really big flaw about it, but even then, really good suit. And of course, I am playing with some friends in a custom match, and I'm just trying to figure out how to do like range combos with it because there's some different weapons that the suit has, so I'm trying to figure out the range combos on and all that. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get started with the stats for this suit. Of course, I've already mentioned that the level 1 of this is 650, and there's a level 2 for 700. Uh, Starting off, you have 22,000 HP, 31 ballistic resistance, 35 beam resistance, 12 melee resistance, 40 range strength, 25 melee strength, and I guess this is worth mentioning, the 135 speed, 225 boost speed, 75 thruster gauge, and 72 turn speed, which turns into 81 in space. So pretty good. And then for slots, you have 10 close, 21 mid, and 17 long. And as you can see from those slots, they don't want you to go for too much melee. You do have 25 melee, but you have 40 range strength. And it seems like for the slots, they want you to go for more range stuff as well. Which, even though this thing does have lower melee strength, and it does have 12 melee resistance, it's still pretty good against supports. So you're still doing your job as a raid if you want to get it. If you're one of those guys that likes to stun, go for a downswing, you can still do that to supports. Just watch out for generals. Jesus Christ. You'll see it had like 5,000 or 4,000 health at one point in this video. It just gets deleted instantly in one downswing. But yeah. Now we're on to the weapons here. We have the Beam Assault Rifle, and in brackets GN for the grenade launcher. And that is it rapid fires, and it has it shoots four in one volley. But you can also charge it up, and you'll shoot two. And for that, it does 750 damage, 14% heat rate, 350 range. And if you charge it, I believe you can get 1,000 and something damage. And when you charge it up, it actually shoots twice, but it's not accumulation stun. It doesn't account for accumulation stun. The first shot of that two-shot will actually stun, so that way you can just follow up for free with that second one. But yeah, the uncharged shot, the volley, the four shot, 750 damage, and it will take two of those volleys to stun somebody. And the second part, if you go all the way, it will overheat. So be careful about that. And then for your melee weapon, you have the Heat Knife Beam Saber, which is 2,800 damage. That sounds like a lot of damage, but this thing does have, again, 25 melee strength. So it does have a good moveset, though. It has a pretty good downswing, and of course, you're still going to be doing great damage to supports. But just keep in mind, you're not going to be doing as much as like other suits, like the Zaku 3 Custom. You're not going to be like almost one-shotting supports with two downswings. You'll get like a little bit either halfway or a little bit over halfway. But you can build up your melee strength, so that can help out as well. Then for secondary weapons, you have a plethora of weapons here. You have the Small Missile ×6, which is 500 damage, 6 rounds, and 400 range. And those missiles, they rapid fire, out from your shoulder area, I believe. And you can't actually boost while using them. You can only move around normally while using them, and I believe it takes 4 of the 6 to stun. I believe. And, they're decent ballistic damage, You can definitely use that to help get some accumulation stuns. And then for your next weapon, actually, I'll leave this weapon last because it also has a skill that goes along with it. So the next weapon are the funnels times 6, the pincers, which if you've played any suit that has funnels, you know what these are. You send them out, they surround somebody, they shoot a couple of times. For this suit, I believe it's 3 times, and that is 450 damage each funnel shot, and 55% heat rate, and 250 range. And yeah, there's actually a lot of damage if they all manage to hit somebody. At one point in this match, King, who's playing the full armor Shiki, he gets stunned and he takes a full volley from one of those pincer attacks, and it did almost or close to 3,000 damage. That's really good. And even against generals, I'm getting like over 1,000 per volley if enough hit. And that's really good damage, even against generals. That's really good. And of course, you can build up that range strength, do even more damage. Pretty good. And then of course you have your follow funnels, which is what I call the pursue funnels, which that's your next weapon here. Funnels times 6 in bracket pursue, which 275 damage, 50% heat rate, and 200 range, and that is again another really great damage dealing set of funnels. I believe another point in this match, I downswung a new Gundam, and I started shooting at him with wow, they really just let me walk by. Okay, well, I don't know why King dropped down. Well, he's dead now. Okay. But yeah, I knocked down the new Gundam and fired at him with the volleys, and they did over 1,200 damage. That's really good. That's really good. So if you're, let's say you saw a teammate downswung somebody, and they're in the middle of melee comboing them or something, or they're firing their own weapons at them, instead of getting in with your melee because you don't do as much melee damage as other raids, you can just use those follow funnels and just build up a lot of damage shooting at somebody. So that works really well. And then you have the grenade launcher, the beam grenade launcher, which it's a grenade launcher, and honestly I forget it even exists. It's like the Palace Athene's grenade launcher, but it does have some merit to it. It does 1,500 damage. You only get one round, and 250 range. Another ballistic weapon. Pretty good for it's your only instant stun, unless you want to charge up your beam rifle or your weapon I'll mention here soon with your shield. And then for skills, you have balancers, you have AMBAC level 2, you have maneuver armor level 2, and then you have force injectors level 2 as well. You have melee combo controller, which means you can hit twice with your melee, not 3 times like other raids, but twice. You have shock absorber level 3, you have a dodge roll and flight control level 2, you have some radar stuff, you have some leg buffers, you have the left arm equipment buffer, which is where your shield is. That will give you 50% less damage when you get hit there. Oh, real quick, mission completed. We'll see what we got going on here. Didn't get up on the board. The Sazabi and the new did pretty well. Well, the Sazabi did really good, and then the new got shot at the most. But, we are going to hand out some praises. And, hey, second place, 5-3. Not too bad at all. Still got over 100K. And almost or halfway, 500 points away from 5,000 individual scores. So, pretty good, I would say. For me just fumbling about trying to figure out the suit. But, yeah, back to skills here. You have shoulder buffers as well, and then of course, you have some of the assault booster that all raids have now. And now this skill to go with your shield weapon, the beam diffusion shield. I'm going to go ahead and say what the stats are for the mega particle cannon that you have, which is 1,350 damage, 100% heat rate, 400 range, and you have to charge it to shoot it. Now, what the beam diffusion shield skill does is when you're fully when you're charging that weapon, if you get hit on that shield, that's charging, you will take 60% less damage, which if you want to add in that equipment buffer level 2, that's 75% less damage when you get hit there. And if somebody hits you with a instant stun beam rifle, or if they charge up a beam rifle that can stun, they hit you with it, that will negate the stun. And if they try to heavy stagger you with a beam, like let's say the C1, that turns into a normal stun. So that's really good. And by the way, the shield heavy staggers, so and it shoots 4 beams. So let's say you're fighting a full armor Shiki that has the eye field. So if you hit the full armor Shiki in the eye field, the chest eye field with 1 beam, let's say you also do a heavy stagger, it's going to be a normal stun, right? But this thing shoots 4, so if the Shiki absorbs 1, it's going to get hit by 3, so it's going to get heavy staggered. And since it's support, it's going to take a lot of damage. If you saw my testing video, well, yeah, this thing does a lot of damage. So if you saw my testing video, I did over 7,000 damage to a support. That is fucking absurd. That's really good. So not only do you get a lot of damage, you have the potential to negate stuns while you're charging up that weapon, and it will heavy stagger, which leads people for all kinds of potential follow-ups from you or your teammates. That is really good. Now, there are some problems with that, which I guess we're going to start right now with the pros and cons. So we'll start with the cons. Is that the shield, even though I was talking about how really good that is, it does not stop instant stuns from ballistic weapons. If somebody shoots you with a bazooka in the shield, you're going to get stunned. And accumulation stagger will also work on you as well. So if somebody's smart, like let's say you're fighting another Yag Doga, they can just do the pincer funnels and then shoot you with their beam rifle, and then you're stunned while you're trying to charge your shield. Or, if somebody's using a beam instant stun, like let's say you're fighting that full armor Shiki again, if they aim for your legs, if they aim anywhere around your body that's not where the shield is, that will stun you as well. So it's not the shield is not a be-all, end-all for whoever's about to get hit by it, there's ways to counteract that. So just be careful if you're fighting a Yag Doga to be careful when you're aiming at center mass. You want to aim for anywhere else on the body, like the legs or the head or the shoulders. If you have a bazooka weapon, definitely try and go for the legs, unless they have maneuver armor. If they're using their maneuver armor, then that you'll have to use accumulation stun. So if you're like a Stamen, go for the bazooka with your beam rifle. So there's that. A con is that the shield it's really good, but it has workarounds to it, and yeah. I'm still. It's obviously going to be more of a pro than a con, but that's just one of the cons I have to get out of the way. And then another con is that your suit is really big, and it's also a raid, so it's easy to get hit by a lot of generals. And the biggest con I have to say for the suit is that it has 12 melee resistance, which at 650 and 700. Holy fuck, there are a lot of generals that will utterly fuck you up. For one, the Sazabi at 700, the O at 650, just those two suits that are like, they have some pretty good close range abilities, or melee capabilities. The O will just fuck you up in one combo, and the Sazabi will probably just straight up kill you if it gets all of its downswings off. Yeah, really, you have to be really careful in melee range with this suit. Suits will just fuck you up, generals. And that's not even to mention like other suits, like the Toad Shredder just casually can do over 4,000 damage with its downswing. So yeah, you have to be really careful, and you don't have a shield technically, so you'll be taking full damage. Well, I mean, you will be taking 15% less damage where your shield is, but yeah, that's still general melee damage on you. But yeah, back to pros, which I have to go back to that shield again. That shield is really, really good. Sadly, I wanted to play a space match with this suit, like at 650, because I feel like I wanted to see how that shield ability could work. Uh, when I was saying on the ground, people can shoot at your legs or shoot the ground around your legs for an explosion radius stun, But in space, a lot of people like to do flick shots, and they try to aim for center mass to try and hit you. So I wanted to see how good the shield can do, but unfortunately, I just couldn't get a space match because GBO2 was being rude. They wanted to give me 200 space. That's not fun for me, so I'm not going to do that. And of course, the other space matches, there were A and B rooms. Nobody wants to play like a regular space match in customs, unless you want to wait a while. But yeah, that's still a positive though. The shield, again, like I said earlier, it's more of a positive than a negative. The fact that it does really good damage, and it can heavy stagger, and you take 75% less damage when you're charging that shield and somebody hits you in that shield area. That's pretty damn good. I wish the Hama Hama had that. I'm pretty sure, actually, that this suit will do more damage to a general than the Hama Hama's charge shield will. I had to double check on that, but that's what it feels like. Cause goddamn, over 7,000 damage to a support, and then for some generals you can get like over 5,000. That's really good. Another pro for the Yag Doga here is that all of its weapons, besides the shield, they're decent enough. They work pretty well. The beam rifle itself, the volley's really good, the 4-shot, and then if you charge it up, even though it shoots twice, the first shot always stuns, so that's good. And it has a pretty decent accumulation stagger stun with the pursuit funnels. So you can send those out, and then you can shoot your beam rifle to get a quick enough stun, and then you can try and go for some other range combos with like your missiles, or maybe another volley, maybe going for a neutral swing with your melee to add on some damage, maybe a down swing. You can attack from a bit away with your with your follow funnels. A lot of good damage with your range weapons, because this suit has really good range. It's got 40 range strength and some pretty good damaging weapons. So you can definitely increase your range strength and just deal a lot of damage, especially to supports. Those poor guys are big and slow, so they're gonna have a harder time dodging your funnels. That will do a lot of damage to them, and of course your shield will just wipe them off the face of the earth. And of course, even though this thing doesn't have the strongest melee compared to other raids, it still does really good damage against support, so I guess I'll lend that as a pro as well, even though it doesn't have the best melee, and the suit itself doesn't want you to melee too much. It still can against supports, which is, you're good against support, so that's fine, Another pro is that this suit has all the skills you pretty much need. You get maneuver armor level 2, you get a dodge roll, you can boost while you're falling in air. Really good. I think there might be another positive I'm trying to think of. Well, you do get assault booster, but that's every raid gets that, so not really too much of a positive if everybody gets it. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for the Yag Doga, and I think that's gonna be the end of this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe if you want. I'd really appreciate it. And type up in the comment section what you feel about the Yag Doga. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I actually really like this suit. I do think it has some big flaws, namely the melee resistances. that can really fuck you over from a lot of generals at these costs. So try not to get out, stunned and meleeed from generals. You want to play, obviously, you want to play a range game, and it does that range game really well. And it has its own merit that way, especially with that shield. Go in for that shield, get a heavy stagger, do insane damage with your range weapons. Although, you're not going to get the chunking satisfaction that heavy attack suits like the Zaku 3 Custom can do, which can make the Zaku 3 Custom really helpful in close range maps like Arctic Base and all that. But for maps like Desert, or you just want to play like a safer range, this suit's not too bad at all, and it works really well. You saw me, even though I was fumbling a lot with the range combos I was trying to do, I still got second place with some decent scores or rankings. So that's pretty nice. Yag, almost said Yagd. the Yag Doga, pretty good suit. I'd definitely recommend, if you haven't rolled for it yet, I'd try to roll for it. And hopefully we'll get the other Yag Doga, which honestly I thought it might be a support. We got the Sazabi as a general. We got this Yag Doga as the raid. So hopefully the next one will round out all the classes. There'll be a support. And I think that one's the one that has the beam Gatlin that the Gelgu Vertex has. So that'd be interesting weapon for a support to have as well. And of course, there's also, forgot to mention, the Slave Wraith is also out as a suit like the Nero last week, as a limited mission suit. And I gotta say, having just tested it out so far, Slave Wraith, the full armor Slave Wraith, works pretty well. I like the Zaku cannon because it also has that minigun on it. So the Slave Wraith seems to be like a more beefed up version of the Zaku cannon, or half cannon. So I'm really happy about that. And his weapons seem pretty good. Just like the Yag Doga. Both seem like range monsters. But yeah, Yag Doga, excellent suit. Would recommend you get. And hopefully, we can get some other suits for this time period, like the Rigazi Custom. I think that would be a really, really neat general. And, obviously we're getting the other Yag Doga at some point. Maybe we'll see some other MSV Char's counterattack suits, like the Gira Doga Heavy Arms, I believe that one's called. Or maybe we'll get some, what is that? I forgot what it's called. I am gonna butcher the fuck out of this name, I'm sorry. I think it was like Beltorica's Children. I want to say that's what that was called. Where there's some other stuff like the Psycho Doga. That would be a neat idea to add in this game. So, we get some more suits. That'd be awesome. And yeah, with that, I will see you guys later. Bye. Ripperoni, that man.
Oh, yeah! Hi, Dongo. That's for not looking where you're going.
I'm sorry, I was too busy aghast at that man's health.